Welcome. Our topic is about models for propositional logic. If to be exact, it's about truth tables. And we've got several questions in order to clarify this topic. Question 1, truth and falsity. Question 2, possible truth valuations. And the last but not least topic is about setting up truth tables. Okay, let's start with the first question. Truth and falsity. What can we say about this topic? The semantics or meanings of propositional logic is about how formulas can be true or false, depending on whether their components are true or false. Why do we focus on truth and falsity? It's because of what propositions are. They are the sort of things that are true or false, that you can agree with or disagree with, prove or disprove, etc. And one essential moment here, we should remember that we write 1 for true and 0 for false. Of course, this is true with respect to the two-valued logic, because we've got only two values here. Proposition is true or false. If it is true, we say that it can accept value 1. If it is false, we should say that the truth valuation of this proposition is associated with the 0. But if we move to the more valid logical system, we should change the numbers of the truth and truth valuation. For example, the simple many valid logic is 3 valid logic. Here we have got 3 values. Proposition is true, it is 1. It can be false, it is 0, and it can accept third value, maybe that is 1/2. But in any case, we only analyze here two valid logic. That's why we write 1 for true and 0 for false. Possible truth valuations. What is this? Given 3 atomic propositions, P, Q, and R, each of them is either true or false, so that there are 8 possible combinations of truth values. Why? Let's explain it step by step. Step 1, P is either true or false. In that case, there are 2 options. Option 1, P equals to 0, and option 2, P equals to 1. And let's move to the step 2. Each of these options for P, we have 2 options for Q. In that case, we have got 4 options for P and Q. And how can we get these 4 options? It is related 2 times 2. And 2, we have got 2 options for P, and each of these 2 options also can have its 2 options for Q. And you can see here, for example, option 1, P equals to 0 and Q equals to 0. Option 2, P equals to 0, Q equals to 1. And the option 4, it is P equals to 1 and Q equals to 1. And our next step, it is step 3. For each of these 4 options, for P and Q, there are 2 options for R. So there are 8 options for P and Q and R together. And the mathematical operation can be determined as follows: 4 times 2, and this mathematical operation would give us 8 options. And you can see below all the 8 options. For example, option 1, P equals to 0, Q equals to 0, R equals to 0. Option 2, P equals to 0, Q equals to 0, R equals to 1. Our next option is P equals to 0, Q equals to 1, R equals to 0, and we can formulate our definition. We call each of these different choices of 0 and 1 for the atomic proposition a truth valuation or an interpretation, and the truth valuation assigns a value, either 0 or 1, to each atomic proposition, and we sometimes write a value of P equals to 1 and the value of Q equals to 0 to say that the truth valuation V assigns the values 1 to P and 0 to Q. And in general, given n different atomic propositions, the total number of different possible truth valuations is 2 times 2 times up to the 2n times, which is n to the nth power. This base 2 indicates that we have got two valid logical system. For example, if we want to explain a three-valued logical system, our mathematical formula will be 3 to the nth power. That is, we should change the base of this mathematical formula from the 2 to the 3. And n indicates how many atomic propositions we want to consider in these truth evaluations. For example, if you have got 60 atomic propositions, then there are 2 to the 60th to the power 60th power, which is more than 10 to the 18th power. In other words, 1 followed by 18 zeros, different truth valuations for those atomic propositions, and there are more than 1 followed by 18 zeros, different ways the world might have turned out, just taking these 60 propositions into account. Setting up truth tables. And our definition, what is a truth table? A truth table is a systematic presentation of different possible truth valuations for a given set of atomic propositions. If we have the atoms P, Q, and R, we might draw a table like this with 8 rows. You can see this table on the right. One for each truth valuation for P, Q, and R. And we've got 3 atomic propositions, therefore we must have 8 possible interpretations, 8 possible alternatives here. And you can see that P can have 8 possible interpretations. It can assume 4 times 0. You can see below the P 0, 0, 0, and 0, and 4 times 1. 1 and 1 and 1 and 1. With respect to the Q, we should change the algorithm. We should write 2 times 0, 0 and 0, then 2 times 1, 1 and 1, then 2 times 0, 0 and 0, and 2 times 1, 1 and 1. And in the truth valuation of the last atomic propositions, the R, we should change the consequence. We should write 0 and 1, 0 and 1, 0 and 1, up to the last evaluation. We should write total 8 possible interpretations, but the consequence must be, as I said, 0 and 1, 0 and 1. And by this way, we can set up any truth tables, but before setting up this table, we must pay attention how many atomic propositions we have in this evaluation. For example, we might have a truth table for the formulas. It is not case that P of Q. Here we have got 2 atomic propositions and 2 logical operators, And note that if we have got two atomic propositions, we can have only four possible interpretations. Because 2 times 2 gives us 4, and here we have got 4 rows. And the result is a truth table for the complex formula. It is not case that P of Q, which says that it is true if P and Q are both false. That is the first row, and it is false otherwise. That is the other 3 rows. And in order to set up our truth table, we should remember that our first variable, P, must have 2 times 0, 2 times 1. It is algorithm for the two atomic propositions. And our last atomic proposition, it is Q, must have 0 and 1, 0 and 1. We should change its consequence as we did it with respect to the our previous example. And in this complex formula, our main operator is negation, not. But before determining the truth valuation for the main operator, we should solve our secondary, the truth valuations of our secondary operator. It is disjunction, P of Q. And you can see that if P is 0, Q is 0, our final result is 0, and we have written here 0. If one of them is 1, then our disjunction will be 1. And considering these truth valuations for the disjunction, we can then determine our main operator, the truth valuation of our main operator. It is negation. And you can see that in the case of negation, we only change our truth values, truth valuation to the opposite direction. For example, if P of Q is 0, then its negation will be 1. If P of Q is 1, its negation will be 0. And by this way we can continue our truth evaluation up to the P of Q is 1 and its opposite is 0. Okay, that's all for today's discussion, and our next video will be about the setting up truth tables for each of the logical operator. And here we will have 4 logical operators, and we will have completely different table, completely independent table for the disjunction, for the conjunction, for the conditional, for the biconditional, and for the negation. And here we have only mentioned disjunction and negation, but it is only a brief clarification in order to explain how can we set up our truth tables. But in our next video, we will explain this topic in detail. Thank you for watching. If you have got any questions, you can address them. I'll be very happy to answer them. Okay, thank you for watching.